So, starting a bit later this time because we've had some technical difficulties. Thus, I won't be going into a full-on recap. If you want to know what happened last session, you'll have to watch the previous VOD. So, we come back to the morning of. All of you have made your way back to camp. Vellum in your hand, this glimmering masterwork, a javelin of bronze silver metal, glowing with that faint shimmer of sunlight. So, what would you all like to do?
Well, it's probably late when we get back, so presumably people would probably want to sleep.
Oh no,
A lot of running around.
This is the morning of. You forged you forged your javelin in the morning. It is now about.
Right. Yes, of course. Sorry, I'm a little loopy.
It looks like it's almost noon. You can see the faint light, the faint beams of sunlight through the trees. You can very faintly see where the angle of the sun is coming from.
Okay. Well, in that case, as we're all returning, Vellum's sort of pulled away from not so much admiring his work than a slight uncertainty of its perfection before it's quelled by seeing the quality. He looks up, looks around, and notices Etheria, who presumably also came back with us. Yes, or did she come back earlier?
I'm sorry. I'm kind of lost, to be honest. I know, skip the recap, but I understand what happened. I don't know.
Yeah, we just came back from
fucking gunshot.
We just came back from the crafting, which was in the morning. Did Etheria come back with us, or did she come back before us?
She would have had to stay until after you were done.
So with us.
Because it would have to be with you.
Okay.
Because I can't quit early.
I clock out early. Alright, just wanted to be aware of where she might be in relation to everyone. So if she's coming back with us, he would be aware of where she was.
So, to come back with you, she has to return to where you were smithing. I'll just say that when she does return, she is, I guess, how would I say it? She has what looks to be like a group of little dead, corrupted creatures that she is dragging behind her, of the various. I mean, it's small, basically, maybe campy or whatever, right? Nothing like, oh my god, but
I killed
it's clear
5
from
Tyrannosaurus.
yeah, no, but it's clear there's been a lot of little activity that with the purple blood up to her elbows, and she's been doing some kind of foraging or harvesting, that she's killed a lot of creatures. So she did, in fact, make sure you did not get bothered. Come back. Go ahead.
Well, noticing her return with what was clearly a lot more trouble than he might have anticipated in the moment, he will make his way over, but unlike before this whole process began, where he was something of a mildly frazzled mess of nerves and uncertainty, there's more of a calm to it. His movements are less jarring, the smoother, his steps more certain. It's almost like as a different, not so far as a different person, but definitely a different state.
He's in a different element.
Yeah.
Seemed like you've been busy.
Seems like you kept me busy. She kind of looks to one of the things. Were you busy? She's gonna kind of peer behind you a little bit, looking to where your crafting was taking place.
I'd say by this point, things have sort of been packed away, but he's still holding the end result. He looks down at it.
Very much so. and I wouldn't have been able to get this far without you keeping an eye out. And I can see that it was the right choice to make. You're more than capable enough, I can see, to have made it so I could do my work. And thank you.
Oh, no. It's fine. But, I've gotta ask. What the hell were you doing?
Well, I suppose now I'm not in so much of a hurry and I can think clearly for, honestly, the first time in a long time. I could give you the full info. Some time ago, earlier in our trek in Tanzania, don't know if you were present at that point in your watching, but there was some metal that fell from the sky. I showed it to you yesterday, I believe. No one I knew how to make it, and something about it compelled me to do so. And when I heard that Nazara had been gathering it, it seemed too important to put off any longer. And so
He sort of twirls. It seems like the way he moves it seems light, and the way he sort of twirls it around his wrist and then holds it in like an upturned, clenched palm, in sort of like a displaying fashion. Like he's sort of showing it to her. And much like described before, it's gleaming, shimmering. It almost seems like, in a sense, solidified sunlight, if such a description were possible.
I mean, look
With
at
its
your...
intricate, shallow carvings, it doesn't seem like there's any misgiving of detail or balance whatsoever.
I managed to make this, and usefulness aside, I don't know, it brought me a lot of peace. Would you like to take a look?
Sure. And she'll
And
kind of
it-
like hold out a hand for it to be offered.
And he'll very carefully put it in her hand. And I assume it doesn't burn people now, Jenna. It's only the raw material that burns people.
As you place it in Etherea's hand, I need you to make a No, I'm kidding. No.
Hold it!
It does not burn your hand. It is warm to the touch, though.
Interesting. I wonder why it burned. I'll have to get with someone on that.
Good ask.
Good ask. She'll kind of hold it up and have to. This is a javelin.
Yep, it's a javelin, and the balance is perfect. Everything about it feels the way it should be.
Very, very, very good. She'll go and she will take sort of a hefting stance and sort of notice that balance. Kind of like tilt the head forward and see that, oh, balance is right where it's supposed to be. You can see just a slight nod of her head as she's visibly thinking. You know, that's pretty decently made.
Thank you.
She'll give it a little spin and hand it handle side back to him.
He'll take it back, and whatever remnants of purple blood he'll wipe off.
Thank you.
Just a handprint.
Yeah, just a big bloody handprint.
I put my all into it, and I know it may just seem like a weapon, but it meant a lot more than that to me. That's why I'm more thankful than you might realize for this. To know that I could work in peace without worry and looking over my shoulder, that I could commit myself to this, I suppose, something of a holy task.
Thanks. I just did what I always do. I'm used to that. Stay outside. Sort of secure boundaries. Still, it's nice to have someone say they appreciate it. That part's new. Kind of like rests her fists on her hips and, kind of cocks a stance. You're awfully talkative. As this little adventure, as her finger gestures up and down towards the javelin, really putting you in that good of a mood.
It really has. It's answered a lot of questions I didn't have answers to, and I wasn't exaggerating when I said it was something of a holy task. The nature of this metal, the way I now know it has to be made, why it did what it did, all the answered questions point to divine purpose.
Wow. If you say it like that, it does sound important. Divine purpose, huh?
I got no other way to describe it. The way I felt when I finished the things I learned, it's all what it points to.
Alright.
And you made it happen.
No. No one makes a divine purpose happen except yourself and the divines. It's just if others make it a little bit easier, I suppose. You would have done it regardless. I've seen enough to know you're too stubborn to, well, fail.
Interesting compliment, and I'll take it, thank you. But regardless, it's...
Shrugs.
You may have done it anyway, you may have been fine doing it, but you still said yes. You could have watched camp, you could have scavenged, you could have done anything, but you chose to agree. And as far as I'm concerned, sort of like give a pat to her shoulder, not like the awkward long shoulder touch of last time, but more of just a brief pat pat. As far as I'm concerned, you're something more of a friend in my eyes now.
Just as you like pat the shoulder, she does stiffen up a bit. Seems she's not used to physical contact. But she relaxes a little bit as you said that. Oh. Thanks. I kind of hesitates for a moment. I'll keep that in mind, Velen.
Well, you're welcome, because it's true. A stranger, or even an acquaintance, wouldn't put themselves in danger like you did. After all, we haven't quite got the handle on what these things, he'll gesture to the bodies, are capable of, and for you to take those on, small as they are, by yourself, it was a risk you didn't have to take.
She kind of just dismissively gestures. Oh, come on. I really like that kid, you know. Can't go off and let her dad get killed by a bunch of tiny, annoying little nightmare creatures. That'd just be kind of pathetic. She leans in.
Well, that too, but her being able to see me work, it's changed. Nope, sorry, go on.
She kind of she awkwardly in like stages holds her arm out and like tries to like punch your shoulder a little bit. That was a joke.
I know. I'm starting to get used to your humor.
Well,
But as good as this was for me,
used to it. I'm still practicing.
good as that was for me, it was. I feel like it was important for Vladimir too. I mean, hell, when she was done, she told me she was proud of me and she called me dad for the first time. I don't know, my spirit just lifted. There's like a far off look to it now, as he mentions that.
Very good. I'm happy for you. And for her. I wanted her to be able to see that part of you. For her to have that kind of figure. Thanks for giving it.
Well, I'll admit it's been hard. I don't see myself as much in the grand scheme of things. So it's hard for me to think of any kind of role model for her. So I just do my best, give her the freedom to do what she wants to, while giving her the security she needs to do it. Still feeling it out.
Well, with that, she'd be a lot better off than many others, so. Little word from the wise, though. How old is she? What? 40? 50s?
Something around that. Equivalent age always boggles me a bit. I've had it explained to me like twice, but smaller numbers are easier than bigger ones.
What works are human work. You're two types of people. Reach around a century, right?
There's a sort of softening of his positivity a little bit, a mild melancholic. Yeah, and I know, rough as it sounds, I'm not gonna really see her grow up much.
Well, I don't know if you'll be there when she's an adult. Well, no, you'll be there. I don't know if you'll see it. But you're gonna be there for while she's growing up. I know I say you're too stubborn to fail, but you're also too stubborn not to get yourself killed. I've seen the way you dive into things like you're invincible. She's gonna kind of like reach up and touch a scar by your face. Remember that you're not.
There's probably one of the first times you've seen him have a twitch reflex to anything. But, like, he doesn't jolt away, it's just like a momentary jump. Yeah, a lesson I've learned the hard way.
Hey. Kind of like thinking and like kind of like just pats the cheek. Kind of like, oh man, I get. Oh, let me try it. There you go, buddy. You know. Hey, my point is, don't be stupid and get yourself killed, and you'll be there for raising her. You might not see her for the centuries of her adult life, but you can get her there.
That's the best I can shoot for. As for not dying before then, like you said, stubborn. I don't plan on going anywhere. At least for her sake.
Good. Speaking of her sake, in a day or two, I was hoping to give her something. I wanted to today. I just finished it, and this was a little more important. I wanted to divide her attention.
Oh shit, sorry. Didn't realize I'd interrupted something.
No, this was a little bit more pressing. I originally talked to Brains over there and asked for help for something. But, well, you and Luska seem to be pretty center figures of this group. I actually canceled it. She's really overworked. She's really overwhelmed. And it really feels like she, whether you mean it this way or not, is being used for her talents by the group in a way that's, I'll be honest, kind of exploitative. She couldn't even make time a couple of hours in a day to double check a plan. She was so busy. She's pulled in a lot of different directions right now.
I agree.
I don't think there's any threads left for herself.
You're completely right. I mean, I almost didn't want to bring her in on this, but, well, skills aside, ignoring all of that, it was a selfish thought, but I wanted her to be part of it, you know? I wanted her there.
I get it. She is kind of a genius. I've seen the light in her eyes. The way she sort of has this brilliant flash and starts just doing something.
That glimmer when she gets a new idea.
There's nothing wrong with being brilliant and sharing the thoughts freely. I just worry that everybody's taking a dike off of that river, and when it gets downstream to her, there'll be nothing left.
You're right,
That's-
and I'm gonna try and help with that. I'm taking anything I need to do, I can find other ways to do it, and anything she needs help with, well, I'm gonna make sure I'm there to... I'm gonna make sure to be there for her, to help her where she needs it, like she's helped me.
Aw, look at you being sweet, sunshine.
Look, it's
It's
one
a
of my
good
best friends,
thing.
alright?
I'm not teasing. Well, I am teasing a little bit. But it's good. Better to be nice than too cold. Otherwise, hey, she kind of is gonna step away and casually lean back against a tree or something. Get too cold and bitter, you'll have a lot more people like me to be around.
Well, hard to say if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Alright. Enough laughing for now.
Well, like I said, I meant what I said, and if you ever need anything, whatever small things I can offer, a bit of gear, some maintenance, new weapons, armor, whatever you need, just ask.
Can you make basic tools?
I can do.
Nothing really exceptional or overly stylized. But I lost a lot of my basic survival tools in the Moorbog.
That place is a way of eating things up. Alright, let me know what kind of tools you would need, and I can add it to my list.
Works for me. she goes to step back and turn around, like halfway through, and she stops. Turns back to you. I gotta ask. What is the, I guess, extent that you do with your calling?
My calling.
You said it was a calling you felt.
Yeah, a pull to make this happen. To use my craft to create this. I've mentioned Alsham, you know of him, right?
We talked a little bit about it. I had an idea.
Well, it's a difficult thing to talk about. A lot of people know about the more violent and strict side of our faith. But it's not all that is. There's a gentleness, a kindness to it. And I follow the call of that instinct. To be kind, to bring light to the darkness, to do what I can to make the world better. And that's always just been what I've felt I should do. The actions I take, the things I think, my course in life. It's always been the craft, but at some point along the line, the two became, well, one and the same.
Is it one of those things where you feel that intrinsic pull?
Something like that. I mean, my decisions are still my own. I choose to do things because I want to do them. But it's more that after I make those choices, I feel connected, closer to my deity. I show someone a kindness, I dispatch a darkness, I... Looks again at the javelin. Create something new and wonderful. I feel that warmth. And it tells me that I'm doing the right thing. I don't know where that's going to lead yet, but so far I've been sticking to my path of the craftsman. And until I stop feeling that warmth, that's the path I'm going to keep moving on.
Kind of nods for a minute. I understand now. There's something that's special about the sun. You get to see the way flowers and beauty blend into it. They twist themselves to face its direction, bathe in its splendor, brings the warmth of light, dispels cold of the night and uncertainty, shows you everything there is in the world. New life comes, old life is taken by the soil and feeds the next.
There's a sort of mild look of, not bewilderment, but surprise. A mix of both. Didn't think you were a poet. I mean, that sounds like something some sort of schlock I would say. It's a small wry smile.
Oh, well, I
It's fine, I get it.
Uh.
I mean, I'm not just saying that, I do get it. I mean, I've always felt that light gives life, and we're here because of it. If the crops didn't grow from it, we wouldn't be fed. If we would freeze in the night, well, we would freeze anyway, with no light of the sun to give us. It's a part of us much as everything else is. So I get it.
It's true. She's gonna sort of reach out into her one of like inside of her cloak, her leaved feathered cloak, and reach into it and pull out what you see probably a holy symbol of some type. It seems to be some kind of like talisman. It's made out of ebonwood. And on one side, it's sort of intricately carved. There seems to be a motif of a sun with a like bright sort of springtime leafy green tree. And she'll thumb it over, and the other side is the moon, and it's a tree that would be like half branches and the other half evergreen. To my people, those who get to be part of the culture, we worship the sun too. The moon as well, keeps everything balanced, but as much as I may skulk about in the dark, what is it? This took place in the morning, so now it's the afternoon?
It's apparently like a little bit before noon.
Yeah.
A little bit before
You
noon?
can see the sun is directly high in the sky, just through the canopy.
She'll take off one of her little leafy glove bracers and hold her palm up. The contrast of the black to it is almost like a pale pink color for her palm. Just flex the fingers for a moment. I really like to feel the sun too. And
Guess
you
we're
know
more
what?
alike than I thought.
I bet your girl will as well. She's got a little bit of time left in the day. How about you go let the kid play or something?
Well, I'm pretty sure she's scurried off somewhere. I should probably go catch up with her and maybe do the rounds of things.
Yeah. Make some time to play with the kid too.
I plan to. I'll see you back at camp, friend. And he'll give her like a little, much like she did earlier with the gentle, light knot punch. He'll do the same and walk off. And as he does, I'll do the ping for it later. But Etheria would feel a warmth within her, and you are getting the benefit of aid spell today.
Wow!
Because I can do that now.
Nice! Instead of doing her little step up and by, she'll just sort of, I guess you're faced away, you wouldn't see it, but she'd wave and just say, until then.
I should. Oh, everyone's on the map already. I can just. Oh. Here. Let me do my cool thing.
Jenner, don't take us independent.
Okay.
I've got everyone selected now. They're technically mechanically here, but I'm gonna do little themes for everybody. All three of them, because I can pick 3 targets. I think I picked 3 targets. Let me double check that. Up to 3 creatures within range. And today, you motherfuckers are getting it. Does anyone else want to do anything before I move on to the next person? Because I don't want it just to be all about me again.
We got time. Do your thing.
Alrighty, get over here, you. You said a thing, so you're next.
I'm
was gonna
right
say-
there.
Presumably people have sort of started making their way back to camp, but that one's gonna sort of lightly jog up. So, hi. Thank you for helping out today. I know you've been busy. Busier than you should be.
Mild understatement, but yes.
Well, whatever else I can manage on my own, or at least with someone else's help. And I'm a lot more free now, so he's just gonna give her something of a bit of a slap on the back, not a hard one. I am free to help you for once, and I'm not taking no for an answer.
Well, you might have to, because some of the work I'm going to do and need to do right now is not in your wheelhouse.
Hey, I can help in whatever way you need. I don't have to be a genius like you.
I mean, I guess.
Like I said, I'm not taking no for an answer. You've done a lot for me, and you deserve the help too. With that, he'll start with a warm smile and the kind word. He heads off to probably to Jar next, but don't know where the fuck she is. She could have slithered off. She could be idling around. She could be laying in the sun like a lizard. Who knows?
What is Tajad doing
as he
right
goes, oh sorry, hang on.
now?
As he goes, Sao too also feels that warmth, an ebbing warmth, as if laying in sunlight. And it spreads throughout your being. Jar, what the fuck are you?
He would be in the wagon. Probably holding a laystone with something on her lap at the moment. Just probably staring at it. Both items, at least.
It'll just be a at the door. Don't know if that came through the mic, but I tried to bang my desk.
I heard it. It would be a small wait. Come in. He's not getting up. He's
Oh,
too
fair enough.
focused.
I didn't hear the come in part. Opens the door. And fuck it, I'm gonna be dramatic. Backlit by a radiant sunlight outside. Velm sort of steps in. Lost in your own head again, I see.
Yes and no. There's a lot of things, but what is it?
Well, I want to stop by and see how you're doing, for starters. You were pretty fucked up for a while.
He looks up thinking, not a lot. That's my life.
Well, it can always be better. And I'm fine with you taking on watches again, now you've had a good bit of catch-up.
She's just leaning against the bed. I'll try my best. I have too many things I need to do. Probably won't be sleeping for the night.
The jovial demeanor sort of fades a little bit. Well, if you need another night to get what rest you can, I don't mind picking up the slack.
Oh, no, Vellum, it's... I'm going... I'm gonna have to talk to the rest of the party about this. I'm going to face Nazara, using
Oh.
what she probably did against me against her. I need to focus, center myself. Right now, I don't. I thought I knew myself. I don't know anymore. So I'm trying.
Dylan will close the door, move in, and sort of sit on the bed with a.
Well, it's tricky business because we don't know anything about her aside from what she's done to us, which isn't much, as effective as it's been. So don't rush it, yeah? I'm not saying don't do it, just take your time. Make sure you're as sharp as you can be and prepared as you will be. I don't know you make it happen.
Well, if an enemy knows more about you than you of them, there's a large possibility of loss. Hell, there might be a, dare I say, casualty. That's the case. I can over-prepare all I want to. Question now at this point lies with can I do it? It's not about skill. It's not about my expertise in magic. Look at me, Vellum. And she puts down the lay stone and her hands are trembling. I'm terrified. I haven't been this way since this trails off. Been too long.
There's a soft sigh.
I'd like to say that it's fine, but I know it's not. And hard as it is to accept that, fear is normal, as long as it doesn't control us. And on the note of knowing your enemy, thanks to everyone's contributions, including yours,
He sort of pulls the javelin from his pack. Little twirl again.
I know more about what she's been collecting, and that might give us more of an idea of what she plans on doing. So we've learned something more about it today thanks to your help. As for everything else, the worry that you won't be able to succeed, the uncertainty, try to think about it this way. In those rare moments that you are unsure of yourself, that you don't have belief in what you can do, as much of a flicker as they are,
He sort of taps the, like, I wouldn't say flat end, the javelin is pointy on both ends by default, but the haft of it. So just taps it against, like, a tail a little bit. I wanted to say leg, where the leg would be. Fucking snakes. Taps it
Not good,
there,
man.
and it's got a little bit of warmth to the touch.
whenever you have those moments, Alsham provides. He will have faith in you when even you think you won't.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Before I met you, I could pretty much say I gave up on that, on Alchemy. Or I would like to say I moved. I gave up on all of it. Because my eyes, all of it seemed to stem from either the lack of empathy or more or less the strict adherence to obey without thought. And I've lost too much with that, both in the past and personally. Only reason why I've seen the light again is because I just a pause for a moment. I faced two facets of myself that I did not want to accept before joining you guys. I don't think you personally would have liked me. Hell, you probably would call me what does the priest call those who either abandon or go against the faith again? I can't remember.
Al-Khaliq.
Yes, I will be the definition of that.
Well, that's not saying much. I mean, if you want to get technical, I'm in the same boat. Hell, I'm pretty sure Angus's meals have done more damage to my status than that.
Philip, I say this with the utmost kindness. You are I wouldn't say idol's the wrong word. I hate trait tongue. Role model of what everyone in a community should be.
Sorry, just for clarification, was that would or wouldn't it cut out a bit on yours?
As a role model everyone in our community would be, actually.
Oh, okay.
I, on the other hand, I like to go that route, but I don't feel like that's for me. Even though I've grew up with these teachings, I feel like I have another path to go to or follow. I don't know.
Well, I think, the way I see it anyway, we both kind of came from similar places. We both heard the teachings and didn't really agree with them. We were taught them and didn't follow in them as they expect us to. But the only difference is you didn't want to be beholden to them. Well, I just saw the faith and I felt it. We're both Al-Khaliq in a way. But, well, I wouldn't be blessed and you wouldn't be doing the good you'd do if we were all that bad. You were talking about before you met me, all of us, that you'd given up on the faith. What about now?
I feel revigored, but it is not. It is a path that I feel like I could aid someone on, but it's not for me. I will still follow the teachings of my youth, but I need to. I hate Tei Chung. I need to. I want to say find myself or build my. I don't know. It's a mess right now.
Mind if I give my thoughts?
I heard from a wise man that's our friend who eats way too much, so sure.
He'll reach into his clothes and armor and pull out the. Sorry, I got hiccups and coughs at the same time. It was not pleasant. He'll pull out the Heraldry of Elsham with its holy symbolage and everything.
The way I say it, there is no one path to take. We have our teachings, and even though I interpret them in different ways than the higher-ups of our faith would have us believe, I know it's not just one thing.
He sort of points to the various arms coming off of the central point.
Every branch, a purpose, every ray of sun reaching a different part of land, doing a different duty. You may see what you're doing as something different, something out of that reach, but, well, there's a guidance at play. And if you'd so surely given up on it, then you wouldn't really be even holding to the teachings you used to know.
And he'll let it sort of dangle on his chest a bit.
And maybe a little arrogant of me, I met him when I said Ultron provides, and maybe when you were looking for someone to trust to share dangerous information with, and you found our group, well, maybe Ulsham provided you with me. Someone to help.
You're not. You are actually closer to the truth than you would like to think.
It's a big world. What are the chances you'd happen to come across an Ulsham worshipper in Malin? One that had the freedom of movement and agency. Slim pickings, Najar. It's either very lucky or I was guided there and you were guided here.
Remind me later during the watch to explain something to you. I don't quite remember it
You
fully.
need to think.
Yes, but let me say this though. I've all the groups I have had the privilege to be a part of, I can say I've met very few individuals who have been some tasked with a glorious purpose, others monumentally blessed and gifted. I'll be honest, I envy that. I really do. Kinda sucks that to watch stars glimmer with, I would say, rays of hope. Well, I'm still trying to find myself, find my purpose. That's the word.
Well, when we bring light to the darkness, it's not always so literal. Sometimes it's the darkness of a shrouded mind. Maybe with some light and clarity, and enough looking, you'll find it. And it's not a case of if, only when.
And I hope you're right. I'm tired.
I'll let you get some rest. Take a nap. We'll get going in the wagon. He'll stand up and start moving to leave, but turn back. Oh, and Dejar, give yourself more credit than you are. You're a lot smarter and a lot better than you think you know. Take your time. Get some rest. Focus your mind. And you'll make it happen. And then you will go. And you too are filled with the light of Ultram. A warmth in your very being.
Thanks.
Alright.
And as context, Vellum has zero idea he's doing this.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be a fun play on it. Alright, that's all I needed to do this morning. And now I'm going to have Vellum go in the background until he's directly addressed, because I have sucked up so much screen time.
Okay. So does anyone have anything else they want to do this morning before heading off for the rest of the day?
Besides Dejar being tired, I want to try that Laystone thing again that we did previously.
Okay. So that was you wanting to siphon something from the Laystone?
Not siphon, more like understand the ebbs and flows of the magic in the crystal. Like the first time she tried to control it, it nearly cracked the crystal. This time she's just wanting to just put a paper boat into the flowing river.
Gotcha. Trying to get a feel for that ebb and flow of magic within the crystal. I see.
Yep.
Yeah. I will say go ahead and just make me a spell casting check. This is just a basic intelligence check.
Okay.
9. As you attempt to weave your hands with that faint aura of crystalline magic that you normally sort of or rather that is the visual spectrum of what your sense of magic is. Briefly, it sort of illuminates the interior of the wagon itself. There is this strange sort of orderliness to the flow of magic within the crystal. that much is certain. But it's difficult. It is difficult attempting to fully grasp it right now. There might be a more opportune time later.
She just looks at the crystal as the lights dance across the interior of the wagon. She's just, lost in thought. Her mind goes back to Borealis, just thinking about him.
Those memories kind of roll through your head. So, such a long way away. Those memories of his smile, his jolly laughter every now and then. The tall, sort of imposing stature. And his memories still linger.
Mala just played his personal lips as she let the memories go. And just meditates on the memories. Not really sleeping, but more or less just resting her eyes.
Okay. Alright then, and with that, you all begin to head off for the rest of the day's travel. Let me see where you are on the map. Might have helped if I'd have preloaded this so it'd load up quicker. There we go. Ah, okay, so you've just begun the turn off-road. The deeper you venture, the more claustrophobic and oppressive the jungle becomes. Sunlight struggles to pierce the dense canopy. Let me go ahead and... Here we go. Yeah, sunlight struggles to pierce the dense canopy, sort of enveloping you in this muted, dappled light. Insects buzzing persistently, their hum kind of blending with the rustle of unseen creatures moving just beyond the periphery of your vision. Exotic flowers, some emitting these faint bioluminescent glows, dot the forest floor. Your Ankylosaurus companion trudges ahead, or at least next to Liska. The immense form sort of parting the vegetation, each ponderous step sending this very slight tremor through the earth. The trail eventually narrows into this sort of a game trail as you head in a southwards direction off the side of the road. It sort of forces you into single file. What's the order here? The marching order.
Well, I assume besides the RB in the cart.
Yeah, well, I mean, sorry, mainly for Liska and Etheria. Are you just sitting on the cart? Just
typically the front.
Okay.
'Cause I didn't have to do an all-nighter.
Gotcha.
And Liska usually takes front because, yeah.
We're kind of like she's tracking and helping navigate, and I'm like scouting ahead and clearing paths is generally what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Except maybe for the very first hour of the morning, where like if I'm filling in multiple shifts overnight, then I have that initial dawn period.
Mm-hmm.
At like 7 or 8 a.m. I'm asleep. But if we don't start until then it really isn't a factor outside of that very first hour, maybe.
Gotcha. The Etheria taking the lead here, then.
Yeah,
You're
kind of scouting around.
Yeah, your senses remaining very acute as you guide the rest of the caravan through the tangled wilderness. Your awareness is sort of attuned to every single shift and rustle. Liska follows closely behind you. Her instincts primarily honed for survival, maintaining vigilance for any potential threat. And together, the both of you navigate the intricate trails with this practiced precision. Your eyes, Etheria, detecting faint signs, a bent branch here, a disturbed patch of earth here. Traces of the countless creatures that traverse these paths. And you can definitely tell the jungle is very palpably alive. You hear the distant roars of unseen predators reverberating faintly through the trees. Occasionally the underbrush stirs in this dart of movement, frightened by your passing, stirs the presence of the underbrush. Hidden observers, small creatures. Jungle's myriad inhabitants, ever watchful from the shadows. The journey is arduous. Stifling humidity begins to take hold. The ceaseless hum of the living forest. The uneven, serpentine trails not yet explored by your group. But there is this irrefutable allure. Despite its perils, the environment evokes this sort of profound sense of dangerous wonder. This place has been untouched by the core of the world. It's sort of resisted the advances of civilization. Yet you continue onward. But the absence of Grunker, with his exceptional aptitude for navigation and intimate understanding of the land, renders the traversal of the Tanzan wilds substantially more arduous. Although you possess... Sorry?
I was going to say, we miss our boy.
Yeah. Although you do possess a general map of Tanzania, it offers merely a superficial representation of the terrain, highlighting mostly major landmarks, approximate routes, established settlements. However, the nuances and intricacies required for effective navigation of the dense jungle lie beyond the scope of such maps. The Tanzan wilds are a dynamic entity in and of themselves, with vast segments of this expanse remaining untouched, uncharted, even by the dynasty's most skilled cartographers over millennia. And in Grunker's absence, this expedition feels markedly less assured. He's always had this instinctive grasp of any sort of land's topography. And though you, Etheria, and Liska possess commendable abilities, the journey has adopted this notable, discernible shift in rhythm. Progress has significantly slowed without Grunker's guidance. You find yourselves compelled to halt more frequently, sort of re-evaluating trajectory, exercising additional caution to prevent losing your way in the jungle's labyrinthine growth. So, this is where a travel skill challenge, and it is a skill challenge, that comes into play. You need to accumulate 3 successes here before accumulating 3 failures. Each of you must make at least 1 skill check, and you cannot use the same skill more than once. You can justify how this chosen skill helps overcome challenges of navigating the wilds, and depending on how well you might just be able to justify it, I'll set a varying DC. You might use, survival, obviously, nature, perception, maybe a bit of stealth, some animal handling, perhaps some insight, athletics, arcana, investigation, history, your choice. As long as you can justify to me how that might come in handy. Roleplay.
Oh, there you go. Very cool.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
So how do we want to do this? Do we want to get the people? Yeah, I think we should get the people who are best at whatever skills they plan on using, obviously. But do we have much overlap? Is the thing.
Potentially, we do.
Well, I'm gonna try for persuasion, so that's off. That's my best skill.
Alright. And how would you justify that?
Oh, I'm just discussing right now.
Okay.
If anybody wants to state their best skill, then we can roll with that. And
So we do 1 from each of us, or we each do 3? I'm gonna.
1 from each of you, and you need to accumulate 3 successes before you accumulate 3 failures.
yep. And we can't use the same skill.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone else have animal handling?
No.
I mean, I have a +1 into it, but I'm not that skilled. I can give it a try.
+1. Yeah, nah.
I got decent investigation, perception, and
Do you have
Wait.
an investigation trained, Spice?
I do. I have investigation, nature, arcana, and
So I think
stealth.
you with either Arcana or Investigation, because they're brain skills, and Sal could probably do Perception because she's fucking busted with it. That's I'm just suggesting, by the way. I'm not telling you what to do.
You can take investigation for seeing from a distance, to be honest. I'm someone who also would look up finding clues up close. That's my character's forte with investigation. I'm knowledgeable in
I will
nature.
also say, the DC on this, I'll let you know. The DC is going to be 18. You are going through uncharted territory right now.
Oh, I wanted it to be a secret. The thrill of discovery.
No, I could use Arcana in conjunction with, let's say, Detect Magic.
Okay.
Is seeing where the suffusion of corruption of Nightmare is more prevalent.
Okay.
That is best guess with that one.
The question there, though, are we going away from the pockets of madness, or are we going towards it to find where we're going quicker? That's,
I think we're gonna be going towards it, since what Dishard pretty much told everybody through her last scrying was the place was relatively suffused with nightmare corruption. So
Okay.
kind of makes a point when we're trying to head toward the grove.
what about Etheria and Rita?
I got two thoughts. First off, what do you feel like doing? Yeah.
Is Gab here?
What What skill do you feel like using here to help navigate the wildlands?
Probably. Let me see here. Maybe
Yeah. Base DC is going to be 18. It will change depending on how well you can justify to me your skills use.
maybe animal handling and talking to some animals. Maybe
That's
some
what I
flying.
was.
Yeah, you were doing that. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I was thinking about doing that, but honestly, I was thinking because you're the full druid, mine's at a +7. I
Yeah,
can
mine's
speak with
+8.
animals and be sense, but yours is
Mhm.
probably better, and it definitely, hey, druid, makes sense. I'm kind of a druidic ranger,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you're full into that, and I think would really let you highlight.
Mhm.
I'm thinking about using stealth and being like the forward scout. I hide, I look for danger. I'm basically invisible and don't make noise, so I'd be very good at finding dangerous things to avoid
That's a good
and
point.
saying, "Hey, don't go there." And then maybe you could speak with animals and sort of be like, "Oh yeah, there's a natural deer trail," or something like that. And we can have like one of our perceptive or investigative people be able to actually follow that trail or something like that, so we can avoid danger, commune with the local area, and figure out what is the natural paths, and then have our most witty people that are able to observe those things keep us on track.
Mhm.
How do we feel about that?
Sounds like a plan. We've all got our
Yeah.
little niches.
All right. So,
I'm good with it.
who would like to do their first check? And please explain to me how this pans out.
Do we want to do it in that order that you said?
I kind of think that's a good order.
Alright, so I guess Etheria, then Rita, then I think Sao, because they would be distant sight, and then Dejar with closer sight. Well, not closer sight,
makes
just
sense.
closer investigative.
Perception versus kind of seeing the lay of the land, then you have investigation, really finding, okay, follow this exact trail. You can see from these branches, this was used by this,
Yeah.
that one has a predator track.
Yeah, and I can go last because mine's probably going to be a more not intermediary, interim. That's the word I was looking for. I was going to justify persuasion by sort of the moral standing of the group, in a sense of like
Okay.
morale, not moral
Oh.
Yeah,
I
so
gotcha,
like if
gotcha.
it's like quelling frustrations if we're stuck in the mud somewhere, or when we hit the nightmare stuff, sort of easing some anxieties, things like that.
Leadership role. I like
There
it.
you go.
Actually, can we start with you to sort of maybe set the mood and sort of not, you don't have to actually do it, but the equivalent of a pep talk in managing everybody's morale.
Oh, sure. I was going to
Which-
state it as more of a passive thing in the background as we're going through these terrains that we're being guided through. But if you
Yeah,
need
that's
it-
what I mean.
Cool.
But like
Yeah.
mechanically saying that way, if you do something and it adjusts the DC or something,
Okay, I could do that.
you reflect the things afterwards because you're sort of setting the stage and then maintaining that.
Yeah.
Pep talks,
Is-
getting us through the muds, cheer up, all
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah, I mean, the
do you
only
feel
other
about
option was
that?
athletics, which, is boring, so I thought I'd go for the more interesting one. It's a +8, so do we want me to go first and then go through the order?
I think
Yeah, we
that's
can do that.
probably the best.
Alrighty. It's just flat roll, yeah?
Yep, just a flat persuasion.
Oh,
27.
there you go.
27,
Yeah.
there we go. Rolling a 19 over here.
You managed to. There are a few frustrating situations where you end up having to. Actually, I think it would be better if you described it.
Sure, I would be happy to. As stated, it's sort of spaced out, but from the initial offset, there's that sort of general air of camaraderie and cooperation that the morning's work had brought about. And as we get into the more deeper parts of things, when everything's sort of mostly quiet, people are listening out, or
trying to keep quiet for sake of not attracting attention. In the tenser moments, there may just be the calming, gruff voice of Vellum just... Steady on, we have this. And as we move forward, regardless of what difficulties we come across, maybe we'd get stuck on some vines or trudge through some particularly muddy ground. For any frustrations that may flare up between people are quelled by some realignment of focus and redirection of energies. And presumably, if we do happen to find any untoward, nightmarish corruptions of the local fauna, some people may be more on edge than others, but once more, there's something of a presence. The very calm and placid Vellum that's been persistent throughout the day is creating an air of safety, in a sense. The confidence that we as a group, putting our skills and wills together, can overcome any supposedly insurmountable and unknown obstacle.
There you go. Alright, so that's one success. One of 3 that you need to achieve before...
Let's go for 6 and say fuck you, universe. Alrighty.
I mean, I can if you want.
No, I'm sorry.
We become excellent.
Yeah. Excellent.
Excellent.
Alright, Etheria.
Be excellent to each other.
Very good. Alright, then I will begin scouting ahead and preventing danger.
With a 23, that is a second success. How does this play out?
So, with her nature's mantle that shifts between a variety of foliage, she takes on the exact appearances of each tree, each bush that she goes through. She holds out her arm, and there's the little invisible figure, sparkles of blue, as it's her little Fae friend, her familiar. Invisible begins to fly off in one direction as she goes in the other, pinching out certain zones, scanning the area every once in a while, returning back saying, "Oh, careful, there's a group of carnivorous beasts over here, that direction, it has a dangerous ravine," all the while making sure there's no tracks that lead back to the group, guiding them away from dangerous areas, and hopefully setting up the next for success to find us through a safer path.
Alright. What's your passive perception, actually?
My passive perception is 18.
Okay.
Audio and visual.
Gotcha. Alright. You head back to the group, occasionally kind of scouting out, beginning to find a way across that route that you agreed to take, that sort of a clockwise route around the base of the mountain, attempting to well, this will be your first day of travel, attempting to navigate through that first day of travel. Who's next?
It was me, I think.
Yep,
And I'm
that'll be-
handling, if I recall. Right, so basically what we're just gonna do, we're just gonna like she's going to kind of get the attention of some of the local wildlife, so especially the flying kind. Whatever's around, birds, little
Yeah. It is
flying
mostly
lizards.
sort of small
Terrible.
small tropical birds here and there. You can see kind of flitting around above and in the canopy. The occasional brightly coloured butterfly kind of flits between a couple of wildflowers. You do spot an Archaeopteryx that you manage to find a not the most stimulating conversation with. They are beasts. They're not very intelligent creatures, but go ahead and roll that animal handling check for me.
Ugh,
That's one failure.
that's a 2. Yeah, they didn't really have anything interesting to say.
No.
Man, all these stupid animals.
Yeah.
Are you
dumb.
rolling 1 equals 1?
That is strange.
1d20 R1 equals 1.
Hang on.
Oh, you get to re-roll once.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're
Is that
lucky.
what it is?
Yeah.
Halfling
yeah.
luck, yeah.
But that wasn't a 1. That was just one off.
Yeah. Yes, 2.
I think
If
it's
only
almost
you
just
failed a
awful.
little bit more, you could have rebounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, if only. If only, but no.
Okay, so that's 2 successes, 1 failure.
Dang.
Who's next?
I think that'll be me.
All right. And what skill are you using?
Perception.
Perception.
Rocket
right.
girl.
Yeet.
Hey.
22. How does this?
Sarah does her usual, as she, on the occasion, climbs on top of the carriage and pans her view around in between various trees and
Mhm.
other foliage. The height advantage does aid her in catching probably what she wouldn't have seen if she was down on the ground walking alongside the cart.
All right then.
Guess that just leaves me then.
So far, we have 3 successes.
Yeah, that was 3 successes.
6 X's. Yeah, 6 X's.
Yeah.
Words are hard.
You know what? I'm gonna go with my first idea with the Arcana. Here we
Stick to your
go.
strengths. Alshram provides. Have faith. Hey, matching 22s. Look at the brain squad over here.
Oh, and like I said before, with using Detect Magic, I am going to try and suss out corruption. At least the magical signature of corruption. We're on the right trail, or if there is a heavy pocket of corruption, to avoid it. Letting those with earrings know, most of all, and if they could relay that information to Etheria.
All right. But with those, yeah, I'll give you a little thing for that. One thing that you do sense as you attune your eyes to the visible spectrum of magic, occasionally you might pass by something. It's very, very small, very almost imperceptible, were it not for that aura of magic that you can see all around you. There is the occasional sort of glint, some sort of darkness out the periphery of your eye as you pass it by, just in the underbrush.
Hmm. Pings to the earring. There's a There's an anomaly, Sal, of some type of darkness throughout the magical spectrum I'm sensing just at the core of my eye. Not entirely sure what it is. Just
It's not.
keeping you posted.
It's not often. Maybe every like 100 meters or so, 100 to 200 meters, you might spot the occasional like just tiny little speck of shadow, kind of resonating with that sort of deep reddish aura.
That's, I say that verbatim to let Sal know. She's keeping her eyes very much trained on the spectrum of magic, because of all the things she has dealt with, this one's very interesting.
Sal will make a note of that, as well as reply back that she can hear something distant in the canopies above on occasion. It sounds similar to the lizard folk things we fought with Bloodhorn. So
Also got, in response, you also have to remember we have unfriendly satyrs in these neck of the woods as well, so one might be controlling the other, maybe? Hard to tell.
And kind of strain your ears a bit, Saoyun. It almost sounds like chatter? It's difficult to say. Like, sounds like two individuals communicating with each other in a language you don't understand. But as you're pressing on further into the wilds, it's getting distant and more distant behind you.
I'm gonna make a mental note of it and keep an ear out in case I hear something similar again up ahead.
Okay. The day eventually grows darker. The journey through the Tanzan wilds without Grunker's guiding hands is challenging but ultimately manageable. Despite the thickening jungle, the twisting game trails and the oppressive humidity, you each manage to use your skills to keep the party on course. The progress is slow but steady, and you're able to circumvent any potential threats, all while maintaining a general sense of direction. And eventually, you do find that the ancient trees kind of part just enough to reveal an opportunity to camp for the evening. The first night of your expedition into the wilderness is successful.
Well,
If you'd like to... Oh, good.
I don't trust this.
yeah.
Oh, you don't trust the spooky forest with all the lurky things about in the shadows?
As soon as we start setting up for camp, Mordecai's private sanctum, just, warding against any divinations
Gotcha.
and any teleportations. Because none of that. Fuck that.
Okay, is there anything you'd like to do this next night at camp, or would you like to continue on travel for the next day?
I'd wager for the sake of expediency, we can probably go ahead with another day of travel.
Okay. Second.
Quick thing.
Yep.
Ducky, do you have any more permafrost pendants, fragments?
Yes, I do.
If you could toss me a couple at some point, that'd be great. But there is one small quick thing. Bellum's gonna spend 2 hours doing some light work.
Okay.
And so I have to do the roll to see if this succeeds before I can continue with the scene. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, no issue.
I don't think I can fail that, honestly. I didn't even look at the DC. At some point in the afternoon, before we all settle in for watch, Bellum's gonna go to Etheria. And he's just gonna go, catch. And then he'll toss something small to her.
Once catches.
And attached to a simple silver chain is a dangling blue chunk of something, but it feels cool to the touch.
You're out in the thick of it most, and it's getting real humid out here. Figure this might help.
And I will trade that to you shortly.
Well,
And I also dropped you an item pile of...
Ah, perfect, thank you.
I have 30 more, so...
Oh yeah, no, that's bless me.
just kind of says, thanks, and just instantly puts it on,
Doesn't require
tucks it
too
underneath her.
Nice good bit of helpful utility.
Be nice and cool. Reminds me of-
Put it on the ground, there you go. A little bit of courtesy. A bit of comfort in the human times. That's all I wanted to do. Nice little scene to show, you know, Venom's being appreciative and helpful.
Okay.
Well, I'm appreciating it.
Gotta stay cool in the hot tub.
Yep. I'll make more and divvy them out where appropriate.
Alright, so next day, would you all like to do the same rolls?
Sure. Stick
It's,
with our strengths and
yep.
save some time.
It's all 3 successes before 3 fails.
Sorry, I was getting that out of the way. Alrighty, me first. Alright, yeah, long rest.
Yep,
Should
take a
probably
long
do
rest.
I think I forgot. Ogor.
For
that.
Gore.
Long rests are important. And you know what? I'll do fucking... Where is it? This would be done at some point during the day, so I may as well do it. That way, if I really bungle it, I can just reroll. Alrighty, persuasion, go. Uh-oh.
Alright, that's 1
You know what?
failure.
Fuck it, I'm gonna thread of fate reroll that. I want to keep the positive momentum going. I'm sure we won't get attacked or jumped where I needed to save my life. There we go, that's more like it.
Alright.
Much the same as the previous day. Ever a calming presence.
That's 1 success. 2 successes.
Rolling even better, now she's feeling a little cooler in the underbrush.
Yeah, significantly better. Be like, oh, I'm using this kind of cold weather. This is great.
And just as a note, 3, there you go, 3 successes. Just as a note, the further you get in, the higher the DC is going to go. We started off as a base DC of 18.
Oh, we should be hopefully alright, because hypothetically, you'll have a thread of fate every day.
And you are using your strongest skills.
Yep.
That's why the DC is so initially
fine.
high.
Let's go for 6. Fuck it.
Your turn, Sal.
We
For
have 3
funsies, let's see if we can get a perfect score.
Yeah, you've already had 3 successes.
Oh, well, we tried.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
So
onwards.
we can always count the extra rolls for the failures or successes on the next day.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's fine. Funsies
Ah,
aside. We don't need to go to the map or anything for this. Just once again, Vellum has tosses a pendant to Sao. Like, look, I know from experience, half plate and hot weather don't exactly go well. So there you go. And I will drop that next time we're at camp.
Okay.
I don't remember if you have one or not, but I'm pretending you don't.
I don't think so.
Carry on. A little bit of small moral support throughout the evenings as well.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. Next day. Do one more round. 3 successes.
Can
3
I just
failures.
assume I have Thread of Fate on? Because I'm just gonna unclick it immediately if I fail. I'm not gonna mechanically go through the clickies.
Sure.
So
Okay.
persuasion. Hey.
Oh, there you go.
Fuck yeah.
All right. With 27, that's 1 success. Next
Take it
one.
home with Daria.
Uh,
26.
oh boy.
That's success. That's a second success. And then a third one.
And Rita.
22.
Well, let's go perfect score.
Right, that's
I'm intent on being cocky as fuck.
you just
Dang it,
narrowly.
damn it.
Reader just narrowly succeeds that.
Hell yeah, 3. We did
You
it,
are-
guys.
you-
Teamwork.
Yay.
You are trying to
With
defeat
a
this.
13. So you've already had 3 successes, but with a 13, unfortunately, Saoyun.
It's
I'm
fine.
only rolling to humor this fucker here for wanting perfect sets.
Yeah, I get you.
It would be funny.
I don't need to roll.
Yeah, you don't need to roll, it's fine. I'm just being silly. Feel free to ignore me at any point.
So, question as you get deeper into the jungle. How are you going to find this grove? What's the plan there?
That is a question.
Because right now, you're just following the route you've decided upon.
Let's see. I have an idea if you're up for it, Monsieur Bones.
Tell me about it.
Okay. One, I'm gonna do some scrying, at least on Grunka for the time being. And I'm gonna go to Ida and not Ida, sorry. Thinking of Ida for some reason. Going to Rita and then to Syria to see about scouting just a wee bit ahead to find any more lines of corruption or have any information from the wildlife, whereas there's a stronger source of it that we can breadcrumb back to the source.
Okay.
Is someone needs to be able to be silently be able to find it. I can pretty much pick up a trail, and if there's any dangers, Rita could probably suss them out via wildlife. While you're up ahead, Etheria. Oh, what do you think of that plan?
So I'm ahead scouting while you do scrying, and Rita is dealing with wildlife.
Yes. And I'll be using sending to keep you updated.
Okay.
So, when you scried, you saw some plants around, right? when they were sitting?
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm. I mean, I could use locate animals and plants. 4 plants.
Hey, that works even better.
What's the distance on
So, 5 miles.
that? Okay.
So it's not super big, but you know, when we get close, we can use it to like pinpoint the location.
Yeah, hence the reason for breadcrumbing.
Yeah, describe or name a specific kind of beast or plant. So you just have to describe the plant to me, and I can do it. I don't have to actually see it myself.
Okay. So let's do that, Jenner.
Okay then. You describe to Rita the specific type of plant that you saw in your scrying spell that was nearby Grunker, as he was chatting with an individual named Briar. And you cast locate animals and plants. Locate animals or plants. You try to attune your senses to the wilds here, feeling the rattle of the earth beneath the wagon, taking in the scent of taking in the earthy scent of the jungle, the scent of the wildflowers around you. The spell itself doesn't seem to locate anything. Gather you may be out of range.
Yeah. Now we know it's further than 5 miles away.
Okay then, I forgot I was muted. I will let Etheria know about that. I'm going to do this spell of sending. Just talked with Rita about certain plants I saw during scrying. It seems to be further in.
And that's through Etheria, yeah?
Yep.
You can reply if you like. But Etheria is...
So just saying that it's way too far away.
Pretty much,
Still
yeah.
over 5 miles away.
Yeah, we're over 5 miles away. It's not close at all.
Yeah, there's no plants that match the description within 5 miles.
She will reply, I understand. Ask me or talk to me again about 30 minutes.
Alright then. Within those 30 minutes, Deshara is going to cast Scrying on Grunker once more.
Alright.
And I intended to do something as well, but I can wait until that scrying is done.
Okay. Grunker, go ahead and make me a wisdom save.
Sure. Let me just pull up the little character sheet. There we go. Wisdom save.
Mm-hmm.
Saving throw.
Wow.
A
okay.
0. Okay.
And that one. Okay then. Thanks, Grunker.
Yay.
I have something for this.
You have, yeah? You got something for this?
There you go.
Oh, alright, you're
Pretty
right.
sure.
Alright, your eyes turn this crystalline white as your vision fades from this from the wagon. And your vision then fuzzes And eventually you find yourself in this this darkened cave. You're being you can see Grunker. He's he kind of stepping over these large sort of weathered tiles. In the very, very fringes of the vision, you can just about make out some sort of large figure kind of walking beside him. You cannot make out the exact details of the figure, but you hear what sounds like the creaking of wood. This deep sort of gurgling rumble, if you will. You see he's not shackled. He doesn't have any restraints on him. He's just sort of walking and talking, if you will. You also make out a secondary figure on the other side of him. Again, it's the periphery of the scrying spell. You're not quite able to make out the exact details, but you do see the faintest glint of hooves walking beside him, and they're sort of making casual conversation. So, what's your home like?
Oh, you know, it's very deep underground and very far away, but it's very beautiful, and it's very a lot of shining lights, and a lot of interesting animals, nice people, and it's very warm.
Oh, that sounds beautiful, Grunker dear. What do you? You've been here for a few days now. What do you think of our home?
Oh, it's nice, I guess. It's not quite as nice as home, but I think it's mainly that it's a bit dark, I guess. You know, doesn't have as much lights, and
well, we've never really found the need for much light here.
No, I don't really need it, but it's it's nice to have. It's a nice ambience. The wildlife seems a bit I don't know, doesn't really seem to like me all that much.
Well, you know what they say. We need it for protection. This place, there'd be a lot of people who would want to do harm to our home here. Deja, you hear what sounds like the deep, resonating sound of some sort of heartbeat. Occasionally you'll see a sort of pulsating glow from one side of Grunker's face. This sort of pulsating red glow in tune with the heartbeats. And your vision fades.
I don't like that. I don't like it at all. Okay, I'm gonna wait to do something after Theory does her thing. But to those in the cart, Dejar's face is pretty much is best drained of color and have a look like, oh, by the light, what did I just witness?
Etheria, what you got planned? You are muted, Atlas.
Ah, yes. What I was going to do is this. I was going to use Speak with Animals, and of all the various little small critters and everything, find birds. Talk to birds. Start describing what I've seen or been told of the Grove, what it looks like, and what I personally know corruption is like. Start saying this area, the dark area, scary, not natural, all the things low intelligence creatures would be able to appropriately understand, and try and get them to point me in the general direction. They don't have to give me great things. One of the reasons I went with birds is they can travel significantly greater distances, to the point where if it's more than 5 miles, that's not an issue, because they probably can travel that much just in a daily migration from a nest to a water source. And they become vertical, very likely over the canopy to avoid predators, and would be able to see the literal black spot.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make me an animal handling or a persuasion check. I say persuasion
Animal
because
hand-
yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
I say DC's reduced
I will
here
do
because
that.
of Speak with Animals.
It is very good.
All right. You see one very, very small tropical bird, this bright plume of blue feathers. You can hold your hand out. You have like a. Do you have any food on you, so to speak?
I must have some type of travel ration for whatever we've been eating. I'm sure some
Like nuts, berries.
preserved, bready, nutty things. She's been foraging nuts and berries for sure. Lots of foraging there. I have various little roots.
You're gonna hold a hand out of nuts and berries, assorted berries that you've kind of been gathering on your travels, and you can hold it out, and allows this small bird to flutter down onto your hand for the moment as you're travelling. Very making your way slowly through the forest, jungle rather. And you kind of explain this to the bird, and you hear the reply. Black spot? Grove? No, not seeing Grove, but big ring stone. Big ring stone. North.
Big stone?
Big ring stone.
Big ring stone. Very good. It's not black?
No, not black. Big stone.
Is it...
Big mossy stone. Lots of mossy stones.
She kind of shifts her color a little bit, so she shows the purple. This color?
No. Like, you see the bird sort of twitch its head to one way and the next. So it kind of disembarks from your hand, flutters over to a nearby leaf, kind of pecks at it for a moment, plucks it up, and flutters back to your hand, holding a very verdant green leaf.
Hmm. Green. Ah, good. Do you want more food?
More food? Yes.
Yes. Will you take me to the Big Stone? I will get you more food at Big Stone.
Yes, if more food at Big Stone.
Yep, more food at Big Stone.
Drinks for nest.
Promise. And it's just, good berry. She'll take half of the berry. Half now, half there.
It tilts its head, seemingly not quite understanding the dynamics of a trade, and it just kind of plucks up one of the berries and it just engulfs it and then flutters off into a direction in the dense wilds. You hear it sort of tweeting in the distance. This beautiful bird song of an exotic bird of paradise.
Ah, very good. I will follow after it with my agility and my climbing, and I'll keep track, creep route on the exact direction, waiting for the eventual returning sending, which would be about 30 minutes from this moment.
Okay. So, who's casting sending?
It would have to be Dejar.
Yep. Yara will be casting sending after 30 minutes have passed. And he would say, I have some bad news and some worse news. Bad news is, whatever they have hold they have over Grunka is lasting. Worst news is there seems to be a beating heart suffused with purple energy.
It was red. You saw the sort of red glow against the side of Grunka's face.
Oh, red. Sorry. Red glow aside of Grunka's face when scrying upon him. I am deeply concerned.
Is that the end of her sending?
Yeah.
You get a very sort of short, curt, to the point, and stressed important sense from her. Understood. Bearing north. I am being led. Green stone circle. Scribe.
Okay then. And he will do just that. Scrying on Etheria.
You see Etheria kind of jumping through the canopy of the tree, following this. What you can hear in the background, just this beautiful bird song. Eventually, it sort of gets closer, and as Etheria jumps forward, it gets further away. You can see she's clearly following something or someone.
Okay.
And eventually, Etheria, after about a good hour, you kind of Velum sort of turns the caravan towards Liska's leading the charge here. So Liska kind of turning the caravan towards the northern area where Etheria disappeared off to, and for an hour, you kind of follow where you're being directed to by Etheria's replies to you. And you come upon a small clearing, Etheria, in the dense woodlands. You immediately see what the bird's referring to. An ancient-looking series of standing stones, all oriented in a circle, heavily mossed over. Some of them sort of slanted and sunk into the earth a bit. You can see where the various stone slabs around the area sort of being engulfed by nature. Various roots and leaves have reclaimed it. It's about 20 feet in diameter. There's about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. There's 8 standing stones. all oriented in like a cairn, a circle.
Perfect. This seems like it's definitely on the right track then. Because I'm finding this is like this cairn, is it like a druidic circle, some place of significance? Even I would be able to understand that.
Would you like to take a closer look?
Yes.
Alright, you kind of jump down from the canopy, kind of gliding down the bark of the tree. And as you get closer, you do see, as you're kind of looking at the face of the stones themselves, beneath the moss, you could just about make out what looks like markings of a figure, a female figure, sort of stylistically sort of nude, draped in this long cloak of her own hair down to her legs, and you can see writing around her, and you can just about read this as you kind of break away some of the branches and roots, brush away some of the moss. This is druidic.
Mm-hmm. Good thing I know that.
Indeed. In fact, as you kind of look around, it's the same sort of female figure on each of these stones, but there's a short bit of writing that's different on the head of each of them. There is north, east, south, west, northeast, southwest. These are cardinal directions.
So it's giving different directions for us here.
Yeah, you can see each of the 8 stones is marked as a cardinal direction.
Okay. Each of the 8 stones is marked as a direction.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like the center point of like a bearing. So it is a literal landmark. Knowing the way these stone cairns probably worked like historically. For us, if we apply the same logic, it probably is like some important cultural, ritual place, utilitarian as a compass, while also maybe even serving as some way to like track calendars. So this is a pretty important find, especially fitting the general aesthetic, which makes me think this is definitely at least the right direction. There's probably more to this here. So I've been a little bit away. I'm going to go ahead and, of course, give the rest of the berries to the bird and thank my little friend. Tell him to be safe.
It gives a high-pitched series of fluttering tweets, and up into the canopy it goes.
And I also, having found this location, I'm going to go up into the canopy and find one of the taller nearby trees.
All right.
I'm going to take out my little ocarina.
Tootly toot toot.
Oh yes.
Just gonna wait for us and tootly toot.
All right. Eventually. Oh, yeah. There you
Power
go.
of thaumaturgy.
Enhancing the sound as it echoes throughout the treetops, and
3 times louder as it is a rhythmic doot.
and
Just doot, 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 doot.
there you go. I imagine both Rita and Sayun would hear this with their passive perceptions. You all hear ahead of you, some ways away, the sound of an ocarina through the trees.
That's a pretty distinctive non-nature animal sound.
Especially when it's rhythmically pulsing.
Mm-hmm.
You begin to follow that sound through the trees until eventually you will come upon a clearing. That very same clearing.
I'm gonna keep a peek out for Etheria.
Yep, make a perception check.
Tell you what, I have an ability.
You have a thing.
It's called Ocarina Solo.
Come on, what can I... Oh, that's the wrong one. I didn't mean to do that. I meant
Now
to
it's
do-
harder for you to find me.
Yes. No.
No, none but shadows. I am one with the green.
Turns out he's been Mistwalker all along.
Come on, there we go. Where is
Oh.
the one that would probably be...
Winter.
Oh. Okay then.
Look at this fancy bitch in her cloak changing.
That is so cool.
That is actually pretty damn sick.
Jenner had
I
to
wouldn't-
make several different pogs.
Oh,
it's,
yeah, dude.
Oh, it's just a colour change.
How much work?
That is so cool, though. Ah, the transition is so smooth.
It's really cool.
Ah, that's dope.
I love it, man. I love
Yeah,
my
it's
girl.
real cool.
My
Hover
favorite
over her
de-
token, too.
I
Yeah, I've been
know.
doing it.
my
The picture
favorite
changes.
detail.
Anyway,
Favorite detail is bow changes as well.
Anyway, she is all wintry. So she's this not hiding, bright white spot that is very different
there you go.
and easy to see.
Yep.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, you see her.
She is actively trying to be seen. Not usual, but you know.
Yep. So your caravan comes upon, kind of squeezes through these sets of narrow trees until you're able to find this cairn that Etheria seems to be pointing out here. What do you all do?
Do we think this has something to do with where we're going?
I do.
What makes you say that?
Well, the
Asking
fact that we're
about-
here.
I mean,
Yes.
of course.
When asking the wildlife about anything, this is something that it founds. This was significant enough to them. Plus, she moves aside some of the moss on one of the stones, depicting the borderline smutty in a provincial way. Little sexy woman draped in the leaves, and then towards this potentially writing on it.
Yep. So as you're sort of
So-
brushing away some of the foliage and leaves, more of it, more of the figure is revealed. You can see she is surrounded by a number of beasts of all types. You can see a jaguar, a raptor, a tyrannosaurus flanking her left shoulder. She is almost this sort of regal figure amongst a crowd of beasts.
Jenner. Given my knowledge of history of this place and very prominent figures, does that figure look familiar to me.
In your research, yes, you would already know this. This is Takanda, the Queen of Beasts.
You sure just look at that for a moment? Ah. Yes, that is the depiction of the Queen of Beasts, Wakanda.
She is one of the living gods of Tanzia. Goddess of crops, beasts, fertility, new life, rain, and, of course, queens.
He will repeat that verbatim.
Very good.
Oh,
Tanner.
before I forget, the sheriff's gonna hand a series of 3 vials, golden-looking vials. This may help you on your scouting, and I'm just gonna throw these down. You can do whatever now, Ducky.
Oh yeah, I've also got something to throw on the ground.
I would like to do an investigation check in regards to the stones,
Sure.
but it's where I'm gonna be a little bit nerdy.
Nerd.
I want to figure out if this was used as a primitive sundial and if it was built accurately.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check. 14.
Dab.
With a 14, this was
You can
not...
bump it up to an 18.
Oh, flash of genius, okay. With an 18, there you go. This was not some sort of sundial, best you can tell. There is no dial in the centre to be reflected by the sun, or for the shadow to be reflected from. But what you can surmise with the various cardinal directions, this seems to be some sort of, in a way, a very ancient and primitive signpost for some sort of order. A circle of stones for, likely, a druidic circle.
And the spacing of stones is even?
It's even, yes. In fact, with an 18, as you're kind of pushing away some more of the foliage, you do notice at the top of the let me see if I've got it right here. Check my notes.
Oh, Ducky, there's a pendant on the ground view.
Yeah.
At the top of what Etheria describes as the northwestern facing stone is a small emerald gem, very sort of sullen and stained and sort of clouded with age, sort of embedded in the top of that stone, very very firmly affixed.
I'm gonna give that a look while people are doing other things.
Right. There you go, Atlas. The potions are right in front of you.
Very good, thank you.
Not a problem.
She'll hold them up. So these are...
They're potions of eagle sight. You will basically have a greater time seen from a distance, like Sayun does, but more magically enhanced. It used a very, I think it was a very rare herb, if I recall. Something that it, from I would assume satyrs would know quite well.
What would that herb be?
Okay. There it is. Golden Glory. It is native to the Spirit Groves.
Oh, very good. Well, that's something special.
All right, what would you like to do here in the cairn?
This is out of character, but wasn't there mention of druidic writing?
Yes, and the different cardinal directions. She has pointed them out. Our druid is interested.
Go forth, druid. Be druidy.
Rita has been given the information of her people.
Is Gab here?
Gabo?
Oh no.
Gababa.
There he is.
You okay?
Yeah, sorry. I was just talking to someone.
Ah,
Okay, so there is a circle of 8 stones, each at the head of each in Druidic is a cardinal direction, and Sayun's just been brushing away some of these stones to reveal on the northwestern stone what appears to be a tightly embedded emerald gemstone in the very head of it. And you can see a figure on each of the stones, surrounded by beasts. A sort of a nude figure, a woman sort of cloaked in this veil of her own hair, surrounded by all manner of creatures. Sort of regal figure.
Okay, do I know what that is or who that is?
the Shard would have mentioned it offhanded.
Yep.
The Khanda, Queen of Beasts,
Oh.
a living god in these parts.
Okay. Warlock.
What would you like to do, if anything?
Giving you a chance to be in the spotlight if you like.
Do I know anything about, or have I heard anything?
You can make a history check if you like.
Okay,
History or religion, I'll say.
they're equally bad.
10. You're not familiar with these foreign nature gods and goddesses and spirits and deities. You've always been a very, very homely person. You've always kept to your own homestead back in Mayland. Hang on. What's her name? The halfling goddess. Yeah, you know about Elenwyn. It's the patron saint of the halfling people. But not Takanda by any means. Clearly, from what Dajar said, she is a nature spirit, a nature goddess of these lands.
Okay. Okay. Right. Well, is this stone with the emerald in it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Have I seen that before? Is it a common? Is it a common druidic marker of some kind?
Go ahead and make me a nature check with advantage.
Boy. Sorry, my cat's climbing in
kill anything. Let's see, nature check. Right, 19.
Let me go ahead and DM you something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Secrets and lies.
There you go.
Okay, so the stone with the emerald in it, it hasn't been touched, right? It hasn't been moved in any way.
It's not been moved. You gather it's sort of clouded over from probably from its original sort of shiny hue from the annals of time. This cairn looks, this stone circle looks ancient.
Okay, could I figure out where it points to, or where it leads? What its message is?
You see it's on the northwestern stone.
Guess it might point in that direction. I guess I'll explain to everybody that it's a standing stone. The standing stone that between circles there. Sometimes they put directions in on the stones, and it's generally secret for the circle itself, so that people don't just stumble on it and knows where the actual circle is. So we could figure out what the hidden what all this means, then we could probably figure out at least which direction to go, but it might be to the northwest then. Because it's the northwest, right?
It was on the northwestern stone at the very top, near the forehead where Takanda stands in the carvings. What would you like to do?
What would I like to do? This is a very good question. I guess, let's see, there's no other symbols or any sort of like message of some kind around.
You do see what look like very sort of subtle occasional prayers made to the figure in the standing stone, presumably Takanda from what you've heard. These are likely sort of small incantations, ritualistically inscribed.
In Sylvan, I assume?
In Druidic.
Okay. Druidic. I guess I'll
Gab?
yeah, hang on, I'm thinking.
Okay.
I guess I could try and use. I guess I can try and use locate animals and plants again and see if I can, if we are in the in the area.
Okay.
Because Vegel wouldn't be too far away, you'd think. 5 miles.
Would you like to do that?
Sure, why not?
Okay. You cast a spell once more, sending out your thoughts, kind of feeling the grass beneath your feet, inhaling the dank, earthy scent of the jungle around you. You feel the occasional pitter-patter of the light monsoon rains on your shoulders, on your headscarf. The occasional blink, blink of rain on the massive horseshoe that comprises the head of your staff. Still not within range.
Still so far away, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what else to do.
Gainer,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything in the middle of the circle?
You can see sort of clusters of roots, wildflowers that have bloomed over here for maybe centuries. You can see dirt that's built up. Nothing really strikes you as of much interest here.
Well,
Besides, what you've already seen.
yeah, okay. What I'm wanting to do here is I'm gonna ask Rita for help on this.
Mm-hmm.
Corruption can go through plants whose roots can go through miles, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's correct.
Is there a possibility you can aid me or I aid you in sensing corruption through these tree roots? As if
I think you seem to know more about this corruption than I do, so you would know more what to look for than I.
okay.
So yeah, I'll help you best I can.
All right. Just endure with this and endure with me for a moment. This is just off the top of my head. I'm going to have the yard grip the roots that's you can see so far, and try and diffuse her magic through them, searching for corruption through the roots, like how he had that experience with the ley lines, but
Right.
but in this sense, how can I say? I have the idea in mind, but I just don't know how to explain it accurately.
Okay, so this is very much more sort of a druidic type thing you're going to attempt here. So I'll set the DC for this a bit high, because this isn't exactly your wheelhouse, so to say. Just roll me a spellcasting check.
With advantage.
Yeah.
Some other thing.
Yep. I'll say with advantage. This is you kind of listening to Rita, trying to guide you through the process of listening to the wilds, listening to the whispers of the trees, trying to attune yourself to nature, which is not something you're experienced at doing.
Nope, but There you go.
With a
That's only.
with a
20.
natural 20. Okay. As you grip the plants, following Reader's exact instructions to the letter, you send out that essence of a, we can say, ritually casting a detect magic spell through the plants and through the various vines that intertwine this grove. And because of that, I'll let you roll a perception check.
Okie-doke.
I'll say low DC here because you rolled a natural 20 on that one.
Actually, what's that thing?
You do have your third of fate.
Fate. Yep. Gonna do the thingy. Do the thing.
All right, do the thing.
Where is that?
Yeah, so it's all right. Yeah, I think you're kind of using it a bit wrong there. So just take off the buff.
Yep. And perception. Well, damn.
As your senses travel. Oh. Go ahead.
Oh no, I wasn't gonna say anything. It's gone from a 2 to a 1.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. As you push your senses through the tree roots, you're finding almost a sort of pushback against the arcane disruption that comes with the detect magic spell. You can certainly sense that very, very faint, almost abjuration magic across the cairn itself, but unfortunately any further than that, beyond the sort of very vague sort of nature magic that seems to be present in this location, you're unable to push much further than that.
Damn.
Very creative. I just wish that rolled higher than that.
Yeah, no. From a 2 to a 1. Oh well. Those
Well,
the rolls.
If we're coming up on time, so maybe a week of thinking will help us suss this mystery out.
Indeed. So, as you begin to consider what this cairn might mean, the standing stones pointing to cardinal directions, each with the visage of Takanda, that one sort of embedded emerald jewel on the northwestern facing standing stone. We will end it there. But you've got yeah, I think you've managed to acquire something here. You're on some sort of track.
Hooray!
You've
Good
got
job.
you've got an inn.
And all we need is an out, and then we shake it all about.
All right, I'm going to stop recording in 3,